curb the incessant and arbitrary breach of presidential directives on the suspension of top management and executive committee members of Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, and other government agencies by the ministers. The House notes that the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment, by a letter dated 1st July 2020, signed by him, purportedly conveyed the directive of Mr. President to suspend from office the entire management of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, NSITF, for previous infractions on the Financial Regulations and Procurement Act. Aware that the said members of the Management Committee of the NSITF were variously and collectively appointed into the position at the pleasure of Mr. President, who has approved a laid-down procedure for removal of executives of government parastatals. Aware that a presidential directive circular reference number SGF/OP/IS3/T163 of 19 May 2020, issued by the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, states that the procedure contained in the circular is a mandatory guideline, and all ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and any other public officers in similar supervisory position are enjoined to strictly abide by its contents. The circular further stated, among others, that for emphasis on no account, a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria unilaterally or arbitrarily remove a serving chief executive officer without recourse to the procedure contained in the circular. Some other relevant portions of the said circular include: A, requiring the supervising minister through the permanent secretary to refer the matter to the governing board for necessary action. B, in the absence of the board, the ministers shall, with support of the permanent secretary, function in that capacity in accordance with the provision of the Public Service Administrative Guidelines. C, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation shall implement and or confer the approval and directives of Mr. President on every disciplinary case against the Chief Executive Officer in the public service. Further aware that a governing board was constituted for the fund by Mr. President to oversee the affairs of the fund and to take appropriate disciplinary action, among others, where necessary. Amazed that through the minister, though that the minister wrote the chairman of the board, at no point did the board meet to decide, resolved, nor took a decision to dissolve the executive and management committee. Surprised that a ministry saddled with the responsibility of mediating in labor matters and resolving labor issues on behalf of government and peoples of Nigeria can flagrantly disobey the laid-down procedures of government. It is unilateral dissolution of the Executive and Management Committee of Employee Compensatory Fund, thereby jeopardizing the purpose and essence of establishment of fund, particularly in this COVID era. Confirm that no minister is procedurally empowered to remove the executives of any agency under any guise, including suspension by the Honorable Minister, Senator Dr. Chris Nwabweze Ngige. In this case, constituting himself into a sole authority known as fascism, authoritarianism, totalitarianism, and now become a minister in a banana republic. This is not according to the procedures laid down by Mr. President. Thereby, stating the procedure as approved by the President, he has gone the other way. Worried that the incessant flagrant disobedience of presidential directive as witnessed recently with the actions of the Honorable Minister of Labour and Productivity, and his counterpart in power, leaves room for potential breaches of laid-down rules and against laid-down procedures, thereby making the government look unserious before the general public. Honorable colleagues, observe and in confirmation of the unilateral decision of the Honorable Minister that the Nigeria Employer Consultative Association, NECA, and institutional stakeholders in the NSITF, representing 90% of the contributors to the fund, and a member of the board of the fund by letter of 3rd July to the Minister and the advertorial in the dailies of 6 July 2020, lend its voice to the arbitrariness of the action of the Minister, confirming the fact that though the board was A, duly constituted and inaugurated by the Honorable Minister in line with the Act governing the board, B, the board was not informed, nor was it aware of the allegation of infractions leveled against the management. C, the suspension is in total disregard of the well-publicized disciplinary procedure approved by the President and released by the SGF. Further observed that in the event where the management is to be disciplined or suspended, this will have been done by a resolution of the board of the fund and channeled through the office of the SGF. Resolved, 1, that an ad hoc committee be constituted to investigate A, the procedural breaches of the presidential directive by both the Minister of Labour and Employment and his counterpart in power. B, the alleged breach in procurement procedures by the agencies. C, financial malpractices and malfeasance by these agencies. D, report back to this House within 1 week. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, you are aware the level at which, or the rate at which, the chief executives are being removed these days without recourse to lay-down procedures. And if you look at the federal system in Nigeria, federal government system, people prefer to work with a federal parastatal or a federal ministry because of the job security. Because for you to be removed from a position, it takes some procedure. They will give you time to defend yourself. If you have committed any offense, whatsoever, time will be given to you. You'll be invited by disciplinary committees, and that procedure will be followed. But in this case, when a minister doesn't like your face, or a chief executive doesn't like your face, he will just use his own power as if we are practicing a fascist system of government in Nigeria. A system that is moribund how many thousands of years ago. This is not good for us, and it's not even good for him as a Minister of Labour, who's supposed to be the custodian of the workforce. Is now the one that's now showing a bad example to others. And if this thing is not caught, Mr. Speaker, it will go to a level that will not be able to control it again. Everybody, once you are appointed into any position, you just use the position because the power has been given to you. You use it the way you like, and then you cause problem for the country. All these people that are being removed from office, they have families, they have dependents, people are living on them, and now you throw them into the labor market, just like that. This is the reason for this motion, Mr. Speaker, and I want to crave your indulgence, Mr. Speaker, and honorable colleagues, to please support this motion, for this one to serve as a deterrent to whoever that want to do this in the nearest future. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it.